What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen today, I'm gonna be showing y'all a very special build today. The two-way slashing glass cleaner, but this build is actually to come out to a catfish paint beast. Now with this build, we're going to be able to get anywhere from 73 to 78 badges. We're also going to be 6'11". Now when it comes down to the animations, we're going to be able to get pro dribble moves, elite contact dunks, and standing contact dunks. Now when it comes down to the attributes, the ones in which we're able to get a 100+ for is going to be the close shot, our layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, 3-point shot, interior defense, block, offensive and defensive rebound. And this player is really going to remind me of Amari Stoudemire. So look, before we get any further into today's video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, but more so than anything, comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. So let's go ahead and get into the actual breakdown of this build. So the first thing that we need to make sure that we're doing is putting it under the power forward position. Now when it comes down to the body settings, this is going to be another vital area of this build. So I'm going to go with the height of 6'11". As for when it comes down to the weight, I'm going to go with 244, and then for the wingspan, for defensive purposes, I'm actually going to go ahead and put this to 7'9". Now the body shape and what I like is going to be built just to take up the most space. Now from here we're all set to go. Let's get into the breakdown of the attributes. So when it comes down to the close shot, I'm going to go with an 80. As for when it comes down to the layup, go with an 81, and then when it comes down to the driving dunk, put this to a 93, and that is what is going to allow us to get the elite contact dunks. Now with the standing dunk, I'm going to go with an 80, and right there, we get a total of 19 badges. Now honestly, I like Limitless Takeoff, Pro Touch, even Giant Slayer and Slithery, but for Tier 2, I'm looking at Fearless Finisher and Posterizer, and all 3 silver badges out of Tier 3 are to my liking. Now this is what we're going to look like when it comes down to the finishing. For the shooting, I'm going to go with the 70 when it comes down to the mid-range shot. As for the three-pointer, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 79. And then to be able to take this build into any game mode, I'm going to go with the 72 free throw for a total of 16 badges. I like Agent 3, Midi Magician, Amped with Space Creator and Volume Shooter. But then we also get Green Machine Guard Up, and I like Limitless Range. Now so far for the offensive end, I think we have everything and more needed to be effective out of this build. Now for the playmaking, go with the pass accuracy of an 81. As for the ball handle, in order to still be able to dribble, go with the 70. And then for the speed with ball, I'm going to leave it at a 40 for a total of 15 badges. Now from the gameplay, you can already see just about what we're able to do, but I honestly like Client Breaker for the badges, Handles for days, Quick First Step, even Vice Grip, and I really do like Unpluckable out of Tier 3. Now if you want to make any changes or adjustments towards the offensive end, go ahead and do so now. But from here, let's get into the breakdown of the defense. Now when it comes down to the interior, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 90, skip over the perimeter defense and steal for now, go with an 81 when it comes down to our block. Offensive rebound, I'm going to put this up to a 78, and then when it comes down to the defensive, go with the 92, and right there we get a total of 23 badges. Now look, we get Challenger, Glove, and Interceptor out of Tier 1. I also like Workhorse and Hall of Fame, but for Tier 3 I like Box Out Beast, Chase Down Artist Post Lockdown, with Anchor and Rebound Chaser. Now with this build, like I said earlier, if you add everything up together for the badges, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 73 to 78. Now keep in mind the +4 badges from my career and the extra badge point that we're able to unlock from each season. Now when it comes down to the physicals, I'm going to go with the speed of an 81. For my acceleration, I'm going to go with the 60. Strength is going to go all the way up to an 86. And then when it comes down to the vertical, make sure that you go with an 82 for all of the contact dunks. Now the rest, we can go ahead and put this into our stamina, and we should be able to get this to a perfect 90. And if you want to, put the rest of the attributes into the free throw, and right there we're going to be a perfect 99 overall. Now look, If you add the +4 from the gem rat badge, our speed is going to be a 75, 64 acceleration, 90 strength, 86 vertical, with a 94 stamina. Now the takeovers are going to play a huge factor with this build, especially when you add in boost. Now look, we get the slashing, the sharpshooting, rim protecting, as well as the glass cleaning. Now if you pick 2 separate takeovers, you have the potential to get a +10 towards 2 separate areas. So the first one that I'm going to go with, see the future takeover. The second one, I like paint intimidation, and I think these 2 takeovers are going to be best overall if you're looking to be better on the defensive end. But if you want to switch it up with limitless range as well as finishing moves, or go something in between like sharpshooting and rim protecting takeover, this is another setup that I would definitely go with and see fit for this build. Now let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly together. Now we should be getting these 3 comparisons if you followed every single step, and as y'all can see together, we have created the 2-way slashing glass cleaner, aka the Paint Beast build. Now remember, we get the slashing takeover, sharpshooting, and we have the potential to get a 100+ when it comes down to pretty much the majority of the stats on the finishing, but also the 3-point shot. Now take into consideration the +5 that you get from buying your own boost, another +4 from running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general, and then finally the better you play, your stats also gradually raise, which will give us at least a +20 when our takeover is activated. Now just to give y'all an idea of what this build is going to look like, from here, let's get into the breakdown of the badges. Now for the layout, I'm going to go with Silver Core Bully, Fearless Finisher, Gold Posterizer, Slithery, Limitless Takeoff, and Hall of Fame Pro Touch. Now remember, if you throw extra badges towards this area, I would consider Fast Twitch or Rise Up, even Back Down Punisher, but I feel like I picked the perfect badges needed in order to be effective for contact dunks, but also with finishing on the inside. Now for the shooting, I'm going to go Bronze Agent 3, Slippery Off Ball, Core Limitless Range with Silver Green Machine, Mini Magician, Amped, Gold Space Creator with Volume Shooter. Now if you want to go with Deadeye or any other tier 3 badge, I can definitely see why, but I honestly believe that these are going to be the most important badges needed in order to boost our shooting percentage. Now this is really just the start of what we're able to do on this end. Here's a few different jump shots that we're actually able to pick and recreate from, and I think we have a good amount of options to go from as well. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with Bronze Client Breaker, Special Delivery, Handles for Days, Mismatch Expert, Quick First Step with Core Unpluckable, Silver Vice Grip, and Bailout. Now I could say that I would want more badges out of this area, but you can do that if you do decide to throw your extra season badges as well as the 4 from my career. But I still think we have all of the main badges on the highest tier that we're able to get them unlocked, especially to dribble and ISO, and you already seen from the gameplay what we're able to do on that end. Now when it comes down to the defense, I'm going to go with Bronze Challenger, Anchor, Silver Core Rebound Chaser, Workhorse, but you can go with Hall of Fame, and then Gold Post Lockdown, Chase Down Artist with Box Out Beast. Now if you want to go with any other defensive badges, for example Glove, Interceptor, or Ankle Braces, you can definitely do so, but the one that I would highly recommend to stick with is definitely going to be Anchor as well as Rebound Chaser. Now the rest of the badges base it off of your own playstyle, but tier 3 is the most important factor when it comes down to the defensive end. Now if you made it this far into the video, let me know what y'all thought about this build. And if you made it exactly how I brought it to y'all, be sure to let me know in the comments, or if you made your own version. Now look, I just want to say thank you for everybody and your support. But if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. But more so than anything, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. But with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.